Steven Tyler has never been someone who stayed the same for long. His voice could stop a room, and his face kept changing as the years rolled by. One decade, he was the sharp-haired kid grinding it out on Long Island. The next, he was filling stadiums in scarves, heels, and outfits nobody else would dare to wear. Some of those changes came from age, some from health issues, and some from a rock star pushing his image in front of millions of people. Keep watching as we uncover how Steven Tyler's appearance evolved and how each change connects to the life, fame, and chaos that shaped him. He was born Steven Victor Tallarico on March 26, 1948, in Manhattan, and raised in Yonkers, New York. His father was a classically trained pianist. His mother worked as a secretary. Music ran in the house, and young Steven moved from drums towards singing as he grew into his voice. Those early years matter because they set the pattern: music first, image second. The records that made Aerosmith household names came in the 1970s, when Tyler's look, shaggy hair, a slim build, leather jackets, and bare-chested swagger matched the hard rock fashion of the day. Aerosmith's commercial breakthrough is easy to measure. The 1975 album Toys in the Attic sold roughly 9 million copies in the US, and it pushed songs like Sweet Emotion and Walk This Way into regular radio rotation. Those hits made Tyler's face and moves instantly recognizable. Big mouth, wide eyes, and a stage persona that used acrobatics and mic stand theatrics as part of the act. The band's comeback in the late 1980s also produced hard figures. Permanent Vacation, released in 1987, sold about 5 million copies in the US, and with that commercial revival came a new gloss to the public image. If you watch archive footage side by side, the first notable shifts are simple and ordinary: haircuts, hair color, clothes. But some changes were sharper. In the 1990s and 2000s, Tyler began to experiment more with glam and theater. He added heavy makeup, eyeliner, and more elaborate stage outfits, and he started using those long scarves tied to the mic stand, an accessory that became part of the act. His daughter, Mia, later said in interviews that scarves also served more private uses on stage, which highlights how costumes in real life sometimes overlap for touring artists. Those scarves, makeup, and flamboyant hats helped redefine his silhouette from classic rock frontman into a crossing of rock and fashion. Speculation about cosmetic surgery intensified as Tyler entered his 60s and 70s. Tabloid pages and medical blogs debated whether changes in his facial contours, fuller lips, and a firmer jawline came from surgical work. Tyler has not provided a comprehensive step-by-step public accounting of procedures, and most sources on this topic rely on photo comparisons or commentary from cosmetic surgeons. That means the conversation about did he or didn't he is often opinion, not medical record. Still, the amount of public attention on his face underlines a cultural point. When a performer is famous, small changes become big stories. Beyond cosmetic chatter, there were clear, medically documented events that affected his look. In August 2009, Tyler fell from a stage during a concert in Rapid City, South Dakota, and suffered head, neck, and shoulder injuries. The fall required surgery and forced Aerosmith to cancel shows while he recovered. He later broke his shoulder during that accident and carried scars and bandages for months. Injuries change bodies and faces. They also change how an artist moves on stage, which feeds back into public perception. The wear of touring shows on a singer's face and voice is not just cosmetic. Tyler has been open about decades of substance use and recovery attempts. In interviews and profiles, he has tied past drug and alcohol use to creative periods and to times when his physical appearance and health declined. Those years took a toll. He checked into rehab at different points, and the band and fans watched closely as recovery efforts often coincided with shifts toward a more controlled appearance and, temporarily at least, more stable health on stage. Even when he tasted sobriety, the public saw Tyler reinvent himself in other ways. In 2011, he joined the judges panel on American Idol for seasons 10 and 11. The TV role brought him into millions of living rooms and placed his face under different lighting and scrutiny than arena stages did. Television demands a different kind of grooming. Makeup, camera-ready clothes, and hairstylists became part of the daily routine. That move into mainstream TV contributed to a gentler, more polished public image for a period, and it also introduced Tyler to a younger audience who knew him for less bare-chested stadium shows and more for personality and occasional on-screen outbursts. In the studio and on the road, Tyler kept evolving. He released a solo country-leaning album, We're All Somebody from Somewhere, in 2016, and he continued to perform with Aerosmith on and off for decades. The time spent exploring country, television, and solo work gave him reasons to try new looks and to settle into styles that matched those projects. Yet, public reactions did not always focus on music. Instead, they often zeroed in on snapshots, a new hair color, a face lifted by surgery, a weight spike or dip, a scar revealed after a fall. Each snapshot generated commentary, some supportive and some cruel, but all of it amplified the perception that he was changing rapidly. The most consequential physique change in recent years was not cosmetic at all, but vocal. In September 2023, during the band's Peace Out farewell tour, Tyler sustained serious vocal cord damage, which led to bleeding and later a fractured larynx. The injury forced the postponement of multiple shows in late 2023 and sparked a long medical battle. By August 2024, the band announced that Tyler's recovery was not possible to the level required for touring, and Aerosmith retired from live touring as a result. That announcement reframed everything. The face and flamboyance were still part of the story, but the loss of his primary instrument, his voice, was the defining and saddest change of this period. To place the appearance changes in a fuller life story, you have to follow a path that mixes hits, hard knocks, and comebacks. After forming Aerosmith in the early 1970s with guitarist Joe Perry, Tyler spent the decade burning bright with hit albums, heavy touring, and excesses that often accompany sudden fame. The first major run of albums and tours built a public image rooted in raw energy. Then came the fallow years of the early 1980s, when the band's internal tension and substance problems nearly ended the group. They later regrouped and returned strongly in the late 1980s and early 1990s with big-selling albums and high-profile collaborations, including a groundbreaking remix that linked rock and hip-hop when Run DMC reworked Walk This Way. Those musical comebacks were also cosmetic comebacks, cleaner, more produced haircuts, new wardrobes, and stadium staging that made the band look fresh for younger listeners. Outside music, Tyler's personal life adds context to the photos. He fathered 4 children, among them actress Liv Tyler and model Mia Tyler, and his family relationships made headlines at times, such as when Liv learned publicly that he was her biological father. Those family stories sometimes make their way into the public's image of him, softening or complicating how people see his face in tabloid photos. The mechanics of fame, surgery speculation, paparazzi shots, late-night interviews sit alongside very human family moments. So what do the appearance shifts mean? For one thing, they show a performer who never stopped performing. Tyler adjusted outfits, hair, and sometimes his face to fit projects or moments. He tried TV and country music. He adapted to the visual demands of each medium. For another thing, the changes remind us that aging in public is complicated. Fans often want the old version of a public figure frozen in a cultural moment. But bodies, surgical options, injuries, and style trends move forward whether audiences like it or not. Tyler's look thus became a mirror for larger cultural questions about rock star icons aging in real time. If you found this breakdown interesting, drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know what surprised you the most. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.